So yeah, that's why the video went up as just a thingy capture, a zoom capture, because I couldn't match the audio. It was bonkers. Right.
Recording in progress.
Hello,
Ah, the witch.
the witch. She's here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a critically average adventure, and welcome to the one that we call out the coldest small little portion in the western reaches of Frohast. We zoom in right now with an old fellow. Someone who has been left behind of their own volition. Now, Rook, you were at the sunken temple buried in the ice. By now, you would have discovered that the group that inhabit the place are called the Wanderer's Lament. Right? They are a collection of mercenaries and explorers and all kinds of people. And they also have a very large collection of books that are managed by a halfling named Gerald. Gerald is, you would kind of guess by now that he is quite open to. He's easily persuaded, Gerald. He is after a good time, but he's kind of one of those very bookish, very quite quiet-looking people, but then easily wrapped up in something. Now, when you arrived there, your departure consisted of you saying that they might have answers here that you seek to your history, to your your flashbacks, your dreams and nightmares that you've been having. And there might be some source in the books. So, tell me, you know that they might have something. Can you tell me what you say to Gerald? What do you ask for? What we're going to kind of roll back a little bit to what you actually inquire about. What kind of information do you want? What do you want to know, Rook?
So I'm kind of looking for any records of battles on like the plains, like the grassy fields, because obviously when I was like, oh, I fought here and in these grassy fields, I think it was Arden was like, oh, no, that's a desert.
Yeah,
Or,
you met an individual that was kind of laughing at you, like, no, what are
yeah,
you talking about?
yeah,
That city's dead.
um,
That was the city of
yeah,
Ranashan.
Ranshan.
Ranashan, I think it is, if I remember my own lore correctly.
um, yeah, so I'm kind of looking for any answers to do with when that became a dead city. Um, and if I can find any books or like almost scientific documents, like or like medical journals referencing a man with a giant moustache.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So Gerald Gerald is a kind of, he's always shuffling. His robes are far too long. His pockets are full of almost like receipt roll, like paper that kind of trail behind him in like a that have got like little lines on, scrawled out, crossed out, redone, and there's little arrows that go all over. And he just seems to endlessly pull this reams of paper out. And oh yes, ancient history, battles.
Wait, wait, wait. Sorry, ancient history.
Well, if you want any battle, I mean, there's always fights between Sorthel and Knus. I mean, there's always battles. They've always been fighting, but no, not for a long, long time.
Oh, okay. Yes. Can you tell me when Ranashan fell to sand and ruin?
I, I don't know it off the top of my head. I'll have to come back. Make yourself at home. There's a little desk over there if you'd like to have a seat, please.
Thank you, friend.
I'll be back, and then
Yes.
off he shuffles, and like you just hear this kind of, and you sit down at one of the desks, and you're surrounded by a whole like schoolroom worth of desks, and at these desks there's different individuals who are well dressed, but they're all also bookish types, and they have copies of these old manuscripts that they have open, and they are copying it onto fresh parchment, like copying this stuff down, trying to copy the calligraphy and stuff like that. This is like the equivalent of like a printing press to preserve these books, because the copies that they open are molding, the pages are falling apart. The dampness in this environment, it probably isn't the best place to keep books, because you're kind of under a lake, and you're yeah, it's damp. It's damp where you are. You're in an ancient buried lake in the middle of a frosty wasteland. So yeah, there's all these people scribbling down. It's quite quiet, apart from the scratching of quills on pens, on the parchment, kind of grabbing over them, and then it's quite a peaceful sort of feeling as you're there. And then you feel an urge in your inside, Rook. And you just, it's not you, and you reach for a book. And you reach for a fresh piece of parchment. And you reach for a quill. And you're about to put the pen to the paper, and Gerald returns. Oh, let's put that away. Look, let's clear the table. Here you go. Look, here's a little book for you. Have a little read of that. You sit down with that and see how you go. Now, I'd like you to roll an investigation check, but don't tell me what it is just yet.
Okay.
Just keep that in your head.
Do you want me to roll it on D&D Beyond?
You can roll it on D&D Beyond. I'm not looking at the rolls at the moment. I don't have them on my screen. So, now, the rest of you, if you remember where you were, you had reached Vermillion, finally. You had climbed, you had ran and nearly died, and you had taken shelter within the mansion, the large house within Vermillion, at the far north of the village. You'd climbed inside and discovered a few rooms. You started making investigations of the place and looking round, checking it out. George, did also get on Roll20? Because there is a Roll20 for this, please. Sorry, I don't know if I told you. It is launched. It's the Out of the Cold room. Out of the Cold game. Now, you were having a look round. I believe you'd shuffled the polar bears inside also. Esben and Bjorn were both tucked inside. Ijara and Bishop had wandered into a room that was kind of like a lecture hall or of some sort. In staggered rows, and some treasure was discovered in one of the old bookshelves that are in the room there. Ardent, can you tell me exactly what you are doing? It's very important. And where you are. You got your back.
At this exact moment in time?
Yes.
Would we be travelling at this point? Would we be on the road?
Sorry?
Would we be on the road at this point?
We are going to your present timeline.
My present timeline. So this is happening concurrently with what's happening in the...
Just to catch up a bit on the backstory there. But
okay. That's all right. Sorry, I've been typing away at that letter in the meantime. Okay, so we're back in Vermillion. We've entered that house.
Yes.
We're clearing the rooms downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Just remind me, are all these windows boarded up? I believe we said they were.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the the handout I jumped in, I can jump it again if you want.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I
Yeah.
remember. Okie dokie. Arden's pretty much just going to be sticking
I'll
his head
just
through each
drop it
room,
for
wandering
Rook.
around.
Rook should be able to see the handout, but just in case.
Because we discovered that room to the left, that Aljara and Bishop are currently in, which looks almost like a room of worship. One would describe like
You can make an intelligence
almost
roll.
like as if there was an altar or something, or a podium on which somebody would be preaching to.
Make me
people.
an intelligence roll.
Okay. Let's see if my D&D Beyond will actually do it for me today. Just a standard investigation or standard intelligence? No,
Just straight up intelligence, please.
They're the same anyway.
I'm just going to show everyone the house again. There we go. That's what your house looks like that you are up inside.
5.
What did you get?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a worship room, definitely.
Such a dick. Oh dear.
This is definitely a room for worship. Cult activity for sure.
This is eerily familiar. This looks. Remember down in Zimrica when we came across those ruins, that altar, the pews.
I'm actually only talking to Niala.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh yeah, you're in the hallway.
I'm still in the hallway.
Well,
Sharing
down in,
vision.
Zimrika is sunk. Like Zimrika is no longer a thing.
well, we found it a while back. It's where I came from. Either way, it doesn't matter. We found it, but there was this
That's pretty good.
cultist down there. He was luring people down there to their deaths. And we found like this really ancient like carvings of these weird creatures and an altar. And there were these pews where it seemed like almost like a church, almost, but underground and very, I don't know, it wasn't exactly divine.
That sounds dangerous.
That's
like
what this
something I would
reminds
like
me
to
of.
maybe go and look at and maybe find who's there.
Well, it's a very long way away, and we've got a few more important things to do right now.
Oh, I mean, it's on the bucket list, you know.
Maybe once we get rid of the undead hordes and the lich, maybe we can return. We'll see.
Okay,
on the list.
I will reprioritize the list in my.
I think that would be wise, Aljara.
Okay. What is Niala up to?
Yana is actually sitting in the entry. Sitting in the entry, sharing vision with Queenie, and making Queenie fly around the house, just scouting ahead what's inside.
Can you roll me a perception check using Niala's stats at disadvantage because you're currently connected to Queenie?
Okay.
Please. Sorry, I didn't say please. How
19.
19 with the disadvantage?
Yeah.
Girl!
I have a 7 in perception, so yeah.
Oh snap. Niala, you hear something like a rustling or something coming from the room on the bottom right.
On the bottom right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Precisely, yeah.
Okay. Queenie is upstairs, so
Queenie's in the other floor, that's fine.
I'm going actually to cut my my link.
Yep.
And going to see what's inside.
Okay. You see the third chair along on the back wall there.
Hmm?
You see it like you see it bulge.
Bulge.
Yeah.
Arden! Mimic!
Bishop and Arden, you would hear this, and Joe, what is it?
Stick
you
my
want?
head back out in the corridor. Oh, I'm sorry. A what?
Mimic!
I don't know what that is.
Please,
You're fucking serious.
what is she shouting about?
I don't know. Something called a mimic? What's a mimic?
What do we know? Like, is that just common knowledge?
Is that the people that dress in black and white with the makeup? They're really freaky.
I
No.
think it's fine.
I
A
like
mimic
those
is a
guys. They can
monster.
pretend. They have invisible boxes with them all the
No.
time.
A mimic is a monster that can transform into anything, making you think it's a normal object.
Oh.
Or
So how? What? But how would you know if it was a mimic or not if it can do that?
it moved.
What will?
Maybe it's a rat.
Did you see any kind of rat or living thing around here?
There's a lot of living things out there trying to get in here and kill us, but you know,
There are
burning tree
giant
kind of stopped
insects
them.
that eat people.
Yeah,
I
but they're
doubt
alive.
any rat would have survived.
Did you just
Gotta
bring
be
the...
eating something.
Bishop is just going through the book, so
Let's
imagine.
let's have a look. Well, let's stick my head around the corner
I
into this
just-
room.
I want to take a quick... Yeah, I want to look through the book, but I want to take a quick check at the podium to see if there's, like, papers there or something.
Okay,
Is there a sermon?
sure.
Imagine there's so many about the cult.
You go up
Then I'll
to
find out about them.
the main sort of bit at the front,
Mhm.
and you find on the desk like a tattered piece of paper parchment, a rundown of a meeting.
Oh.
It is like minutes of a meeting, and it's like agenda. Collapse at the mine. Current feelings of the village. Current ways to combat the ever-growing creeping darkness. And it's basically like a checklist.
Mhm.
You kind of make the assumption that this is like some sort of civic meeting space from the things that you found.
Like for the council members and whatnot.
Yeah, a town council member. So like maybe George and Lucas might have been here. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you read yourselves out. Go on, no night. See you in the morning, bud. Go. 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 Please. Good night.
Sweetie, go to sleep.
So, yeah. So yeah, you get the assumption of that. As you stand at the edge of the door, Arden, and you start peeking your head round, you see the same thing. This third chair along. It like the base of it kind of swells up and then kind of goes back down. But it's almost like you then hear like the wood begin to creak as well, like.
I mean, if it's a mimic, it's not a very good mimic.
No, it's not. Can you poke it?
Is there anything on the ground near me?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Right,
like
just loose pieces of rubbish or rubble
there's
or
something,
rocks
yeah,
or
yeah.
pebbles. Just gonna pick something up and throw it at that particular chair.
make me a ranged attack.
Okay, I'm on strike. 21.
21. It hits definitely just, and it doesn't react in any way. It just keeps kind of. And then you can hear like the wood beginning to splinter.
Yeah, that's not right.
No, and I don't think it's a mimic. I think it was.
Give me a moment. Take out my 10-foot pole.
Shunk. Here it is.
And I want to get 10 feet away from it, 10-foot range with
Yeah.
a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
I'm just going to poke it. I'm just going to keep jabbing at it.
It's like
Poke it with his
it's like
Which one is it? Is it this one?
it's the third one along.
Third one along. Okay,
On the
so I can poke it from here. I'll
Yeah.
poke it from here and just from inside the doorway, just poking at it.
It
This
kind
10-foot
of
pole.
gives like the kind of the velvet that's on the chair is obviously once quite nice. You can see those spots of mildew all over it and bits where it's kind of gone crusty. And as you poke it, it just gives like jelly, like. But you can see that there's lumps in it. Maybe more like a blancmange or something. I don't know, like there's stuff in there.
I just with a wild thought out of my own head, I just kind of give a hard like bang on the side of the door frame.
Okay, it like some dust and cobwebs fall down on your head.
Okay. The whole house isn't made of this stuff. That's fine.
the thing
Okay.
is this stuff.
I mean, I don't know what it is. What do you want me to do? Punch it?
I don't know. You're supposed to be the wiser one.
It's a moving fucking jelly chair. There's no wisdom involved here. It's a thing.
You did get a bad experience, if I remember correctly.
I
with
poke the chair again with the stick and go, "Hello, jelly chair."
Okay. There's no response, no vocal response from it. Just more of the swelling and creaking. George, Rook, sorry, I do apologise. And what was that investigation roll, please? 10? 9.
8.
9.
8.
8. Oh, crikey. It's taking you a while, Rook. And as you go through, over the next little while, food is brought to you by Gerald, and several people say, like, you're going through these books and it's not becoming very much clearer. You kind of get that the feeling you get is the feeling that you've had already, that what you did was long ago, but you know it doesn't seem like that to you. Everything you read about the large battles and the plains on Gregdon refers to a good couple of 100 years ago to the time now. And all current record that you find of Gregdon, there are no plains in the centre of Gregdon, just one great big desert. It's a huge, vast expanse called the Haff Expanse. Haff. Haff Expanse. And Ranashan, when you look to Ranashan, you remember that you and your wife lived there. Your lover. And all tale of it now just speaks of it as an abandoned place, city of dead things. And of your mysterious moustached fellow, there is no record that you can find. But you're determined, Rook. You're determined. And you sit there for several weeks. This is the only leads you've had so far on this. And you go over the books, you're turning them over, and you do several shifts of this with the scribes all around you, shifting their pens and rewriting books. And every now and then you get that urge to pick up a pen and join them, but then you've got another book in front of you and you're focused back on your research. You're focused back on finding the answers that you seek, Rook. The things that will maybe explain some of why you're here, where you came from, or where you've been. And it's on one of these particular late evenings. Some of the scribes have left, most of them are left, and you sit there by a lonely candle. Gerald shuffles out. Mr. Rook, are you staying the night a little bit later? burning the midnight oil?
Yes, yes, Gerald. I'm still searching for something.
You don't fancy
Um,
joining me for a little nightcap at all?
Not tonight, Gerald. Maybe tomorrow. But I
Okay.
appreciate the offer.
I probably shouldn't do another night in a row, but last night was
Uh,
fun. Thank you so much. I'm
It's
sorry
my
about
pleasure.
the taking off of the clothes, though.
Nothing to be apologising for, my friend. You have a fine physique. Any-
Well,
Anyone would be proud of that.
well, it's aging, but I try and keep it trim. Yes, it's that genre. Ever since they were here, it's always been have a few, start taking off legs.
I remember those days vividly. Yes.
Well,
You'd have a skinful, get your kit off, and well, you know.
there's something exhilarating about it. But I mean, it's not like anyone really frowns upon not wearing clothes anyway. It just seems more traditional to do it here.
Exactly.
And sometimes it is awful chilly, to be fair.
You can say that again. So some nights without this candle, I would most definitely pass out face first in snow.
Well, indeed. Anyway, I bid you adieu and sleep well. I hope you. I'll have another look through the stacks tomorrow. We're getting to especially wet ones now in the kind of remit that you're interested in. So the contents of the books is sometimes more like a paste than words.
Thank you.
No
Thank you,
worries. Good
Gerald.
night, Mr. Rook.
Sleep well, friend. Sleep well.
I shall. And shuffles off. Little reams of paper behind him. And Rook, you're sitting there and you've got your thumb in yet another manual and you're looking at these words and your eyes are starting to drift. You know you've been looking too long. Then your arm begins to itch. And you
Is it
go on.
the same arm with the colony on it?
It is indeed. And you kind of
I got-
don't move just yet. But you feel the itch kind of moving down your arm, away from the scar where it has itched before, and you feel it in the hair on the back of your hand that grasps the book. And then, from the end of your thumb that holds the book like this, you see a tiny mushroom procession start marching out along your thumb. The one at the very front has a very pompous looking hat and a sceptre, and all the rest are dressed in kind of quite nice finery. These folks are about yay big, maybe 2 centimeters, maybe 3. The tallest hat maybe makes them that big, and they march imperiously down your thumb and on to the paper and into the middle of the book, and they kind of gather in a little semicircle on the paper, and the one with the pompous hat walks forwards, raising arm and sceptre. Oh, great one who gave us life, will you crest an audience with you?
Well, yes, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. What can I do for you, friends?
He's here! And the chorus of them go, he's here. He
How
listens
may
to us.
I
Sorry, go on.
how may I help you?
Oh, it is not what you can do for us. It is what we can do for you, oh great one. great one.
No, Luke, I'm not going to close the book on them.
See if they like the wet books, right? Maybe they can decipher the wet books that we struggle to read because they're mushroom people.
I know. I was getting to that.
They're fungus. They know fungus.
What is it that you had in mind?
We have grown strong upon your mighty form.
I can see that.
We have gathered our wits, and we have grown. You just see but a small selection, the hierarchy, the ecclesiarchy of the domain of Mururuk.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Acquaintances.
Oh, this is, I've dreamed of this for many years. But I'm getting distracted. My ego is, and we have had a vision.
Pray tell.
The other worlds that you travelled with.
Other worlds.
The other worlds that you travelled with.
Oh, my friends.
Yes, you were in orbit about them for some time, and then they have gone.
Yes, they have.
You have eclipsed them all.
No, they just have other pressing matters to deal with.
We smell them still.
Do you mean you smell them?
We smell and sense them still.
They must be hundreds of leagues from here.
Yeah. They're afraid. They are so very scared.
So what are you saying, that I should go and find them?
It will take a long time, even as you walk thousands of feet.
Yes, it would take a while, but I wouldn't know where to start.
There is a way. We could take you. We are willing to give this to you.
How?
Go, come with us. Stand, walk.
Oh, okay. Do you need to hop back on?
Yes, please. I will take a long time.
Okay. I kind of hold my finger kind of in front of them.
You have a little row, and they gesture with the scepter. Forwards!
Yes, okay.
This way. And you're led through the stacks of books, and you can feel that must in the air getting damper and damper. And you get to a corner, and these were books at one point.
But they're not anymore.
It is bracket fungus, little shrooms growing out, little tops. But these are not living, walking ones. These are seemingly inert. They're just sitting there, and you kind of, as you sniff, you can smell that kind of spore smell in the air that you get when you're near them. You can travel here.
This is a wall.
Lay down. We will take you. Some of us may have to sacrifice our lives, but for you, we shall.
Okay. I trust you. I trust you entirely.
Good.
I will
Good.
kind of like, with a bit of trepidation, kind of like crouch and then sit down and then kind of like lie back.
It's like laying into damp compost. and you kind of sink into a little bit, and the dampness kind of wraps over you. And the lead one walks up your chest and stands above like your like beard that hangs down like this. He says, "Oh, great Mycelia, take this being to us other worlds. They need him more, and we shall always regrow and become one once more." And he smashes his staff down with such force. It's like a little needle going into your chest. And then his hands break apart into little tendrils. And they worm down the cane and into your chest. And you start feeling these little tendrils of mushroom roots shooting through your body underneath your skin, and you find it rising up over your face, and you see all the other mushrooms beside you bend in, and the spore drops on you, and you start gradually losing consciousness, and you drift away, but you feel your body being dissolved, decomposed at an exceedingly fast rate. You're being taken apart, cell by cell by cell by cell, and then your consciousness is with them. You hear 100 tiny wee
I'm a mushroom
in your head, but you don't have a head. You just are one with the wee, and you are trained through this kind of roller coaster ride, and you see rushing beneath you earth, water, roots, vines, grasslands, and you are kind of connected to so much else. And then you suddenly feel yourself kind of forming back together again. You feel bits of you kind of have an arm. Oh yeah, and then but it's a vestigial lump. And then you're like, oh yeah, arms. I remember having arms. And you're like, oh yeah, eyes, yeah, they were good. And you can kind of smell like the smell of like, I don't know, like must and dust, and you feel yourself really constrained, and then you push and push and push, and you hear the creaking of wood, and you guys in the room start seeing this chair expand and crack and begin to burst, and you see this beautiful, humongous fungus emerge out, beautiful in all its amazing glory, tendrils flying everywhere out of this chair, like endless ropes of mycelial network, like flailing round, and you see it's a humanoid form, and you met things like this before. What do you do?
I was going to guard it, like preparing fire and everything. Like, fuck! What is this?
Ijara,
No, not fireball.
Ijara will also brace. What the hell is this? What's going on here? What is that? What is that?
I mean, I just kind of block the doorway and just like push everybody back.
Yeah.
Getting ready to take on whatever the fuck this thing is.
So the tendrils wrap around, and Rook, you feel yourself kind of condensing, and you have like one eye, and you see one eye emerge in this massive fungus, everyone, and you can kind of see this arm kind of shrinking back down from this thing that was like the size of the ceiling, kind of compressing, and like roots kind of rewrapping, and then you see hair start growing out of it, and then one big ear like pops out. And there's like, and it's just gradually forming and becoming more of a shape. What do you do?
Yana is horrified, like too stunned to speak, like a horrified face.
Just gonna let it run its course.
Just watching. I'm glad.
Hasn't attacked. It's just there growing. I'm a bit like,
what
I
gradually
did poke
happens.
it and say hello, and now it's suddenly spawned into a fucking
Hello.
figure, and I'm just like,
Rook, how does it feel? Describe how this. Describe what it feels like. What did it feel like whooshing through?
So, kind of. You guys watch Rick and Morty?
mhm.
You know the like cloud of gas that they call fart. Feels like that, kind of just like nothingness, but with a conscience.
Yeah.
Flying through all these different areas, through the roots, through the water, through everything, and then coming through into this room, kind of starting to reform, kind of almost, I feel ethereal, like I've not had a physical body for the amount of time that I was traveling, however long that may have been. And then as I start to reform with an arm, an eye, an ear, a toe, the feel of solid ground beneath my paws, it's kind of like after stepping off a boat, you're like, oh, dry land.
Yeah. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. And you step off of this mycelial ocean and you kind of put one foot out and it's like mostly toes and then the kind of last few roots retract and you take another step out of this mycelial world and you gradually pull yourself away from this chair that you were bonded to and these little ting, 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 last few roots snap away and the rest of the face begins to form and the rest of you see emerge out of the wall your old friend Rook pulls himself bodily out of this kind of fungus covered rotten chair and you just see the last tendrils, like the eye kind of like open up and then they're whole and it's Rook.
As the kind of the last tendrils kind of break off, Rook kind of like gasps for air because
Yeah.
he's not had a body for again however long it's been.
Time
and
wasn't a thing.
Punch him in the face.
he, as he's like
I punch him in the face.
as as he like fully forms, he just kind of collapses on the floor.
And you punch him in the face.
I knee him in the face.
Make an attack roll.
$11.
11. Just bounces off the mycelial tendril.
No, it's on the floor. I just
Oh, he's on the floor. He's prone. I'll get advantage.
oh shit, yeah, he did, didn't he? How about that?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That'll do it.
it connects with you, Rook, and what do you say?
Just wait a second.
Still pulling your punches.
Yeah, it's him.
Who is it?
You,
What is it? What was that?
you absolute bastard. How long have you been holding that trick back from us? Do you know how many times that could have been useful? How many times we've been cornered and running away? And you can do that?
Arden,
What?
shut up. And Yana's just going to go to Rook and hug him tightly.
I'm still on the floor.
She don't care.
For how tall you are, she's still probably hugging you at chest height, kind of thing. It's just like wrapped round. And Rook, you
Been a
see,
while, little one.
you sorry, Con.
It's been a while, little one.
Don't do it again. Please.
At this point,
Oh,
has
really,
he already
this
had
time
my
just-
letter or not?
I think Rook, as part of it, would have had your letter. So, yeah, could we, like, before you got there, Rook, you would have heard this from Arden.
You would have a little paper crane would have just been tapping you on the side of the head, and the
Little
moment you
folded
grab it, you just
origami.
go inert and then fold out into a paper into a letter.
You got it?
Oh, I wasn't expecting to have to read this out loud. I was hoping that read it and maybe keep some of it to himself. But that's all right.
It's up
I
to you.
shall
You
read
can-
it.
You can
send
say-
No. I'll read
You
it. I'll
can
read it. It's fine.
Message it me.
No, it's all right. I'll read it.
I
It's
think
just
it'll be
fine.
good in your voice as well.
Yeah. So back when you're in the tower, and you're reading through these books, this little paper crane just starts flying like repeatedly into your head, like it's continuing. And the moment you grab it, it goes inert, and you unfold it, and it's got my writing on it. And it reads, Rook, I understand why you had to stay behind. I understand you need to know who you are. I have shared that struggle. I hope you find the answers you seek. I hope they help you further understand your past. But know this, despite whatever knowledge you find, whatever tells you who you are and what you are, I know you already. You are a fiercely loyal and stalwart friend who would do anything they must to protect those close to you. No dusty pages of ancient knowledge can tell you otherwise. We continue on to Vermillion in hopes of finding more answers for our friends. Rook, should we fail, should I fall, and Frohas becomes a battlefield, leave. Go to Canoose. Seek out an elf called Orin, the wisest person I know. Tell them all that has happened. Tell them you know me. Tell them Varus. They will know what to do. They will help you, but I fear they have gone to Canoose. They will need help fast. Stay safe. Stay the course. Arden.
So once Niella's, let go, I'm gonna stand up.
Not go yet.
Maybe Rook even stands up with.
Yeah. Just
Just clung to you.
You see
Let go.
over.
Is Rook naked?
so it's naked.
Rook has travelled with all of his things.
All of his things have come with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will never admit this to anyone, but you are the suppiest fucker I have ever met. And I literally just grab him behind the head, just bring him in for a big cuddle.
As you pull those two close to you, you see a stranger in the hallway. You see a slim, plate-mailed elf with a shock of red hair, braced, kind of looking curiously at you, with weapons in hand, like they're loosening their grip because they think that these others are like with you. What is it there, Arden? What is that?
Zara, it's okay. Zara, it's okay. Zara, your friend. He's a friend.
Try that again.
He's a friend. Don't worry. You don't need to panic. He was back at the Wanderer's Lament, remember? The big hairy one wandering
I
around.
remember the hairy one, but I've never seen the hairy man come out of a mushroom before. I'm not.
Yep, neither have we. That has some explaining to do, but it's him. I trust him. I
How
trust him completely.
How big is Gerald?
Barely came up to my bollocks.
I trust him.
Did
Apologies.
you
Where?
find anything?
Sorry, say again, Yala.
Did you find anything?
I found enough to keep going with. But firstly, where are my manners? And it kind of like put Arden down, put Nyala down.
No. Sorry.
That was a cat.
That was actually quite cute. That was just like, no! Bloom.
Literally disconnected you.
Just all we heard was, no!
I will walk over to this lovely elf maiden in the full plate and just go,
Is it full plate or half plate? I can't remember.
half plate. The
Pretty sure
plate.
it's full plate. I'm pretty sure it's full plate. I think we gave a full plate.
Yeah. Hold on, I haven't got a sheet up because I haven't played it yet. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's full plate.
yeah. Anyway,
And,
just plated. It's like the armor is very very fitted, but kind of disguises form rather than it is revealing in any way. It's traditional armor. It's not revealing in any.
It's not
sense.
it's not boob plate.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
No.
I will unsheath Captain Smashy and put it kind of head down on the floor, kneel in front of them, and just thank you for keeping my friends safe.
Thank you for looking after Gerald.
Gerald's tough enough, big enough to look after himself.
He acts
I
tough.
merely.
He acts tough.
Yes, he's funny.
I'm
Little
sorry.
man.
Gerald?
The librarian. Remember?
Oh, yes.
The tiny guy.
Yeah,
Very-
yes.
Very tiny man.
I mean,
Lovely.
size matters not.
No, look at you.
I mean,
Beautiful though. Gerald is so beautiful.
Can you go back the same way you came?
If I'm honest, I don't really know the way I came.
Right.
Came out of the chair.
Brooke,
What chair? Kind of look around and actually finally like look at the room.
There is no chair.
Imagine
He's
it-
now part
no.
chair.
Imagine it's like bits of a chair, but you know, like the portal to Stranger Things when they go through.
Subrace chair.
When they go through to the upside down, those kind of like tendrily remnants of rope, like kind of gooey, innerdy kind of. There's that, but you can gradually see that it's kind of like drying, almost like in time lapse.
I'm gonna go with no. I can't go back to where I came.
did you become a druid?
No, I'm still same old rook.
Okay.
Same old smash things first, ask questions later.
Hey, Bishop, the hairy one is here.
So, if you eat mushrooms, does that count as cannibalism now?
I think so. I think it might be.
We had a discussion about cannibalism.
Look, let's not continue on about that. That's enough about that.
I
Right.
told you I wouldn't hit you.
Just no. No.
You guys
Ah.
seem like you have some unresolved issues.
I mean,
you-
what have been training me?
You bastard, you little fuck. Look, we have enough issues going on outside. I don't know whether you don't know where we are, do you?
I haven't the foggiest. All I know is one moment I'm in the library.
We're in
next
Vermillion.
minute's You made it to Vermillion.
We made it. By the skin of our fucking teeth, we made it. Through fucking zombies and fucking giants, we made it.
Oh, you guys got to kill giants?
No, we fucking ran. We ran.
Good. Good.
We,
That means
oh boy, did we run.
that means we can go and kill them later, right?
No!
No, there were 5 of them. 3 of them. I can't remember. There were giants.
There were 3 of them.
No.
But there's
Four.
now 5 of us.
Rook, I admire your bravery.
No. He has a point.
We are not going back that way.
We are not going back, but I still want my ladder that I made for you guys.
No, the ladder will remain a testament and a warning to any of those that go that way. Don't
Look, it's not
try it.
my fault, Bishop. Just blow a torch where they were sleeping.
Look, that ladder is still there. It is planted in the ground. It will probably regrow a tree. Look, it doesn't matter. Anyway, look, forget about the ladder, Rook. That's not what's important.
Okay.
Well,
Sure.
but we're talking about cannibalism.
Nyala, drop the cannibalism already, please. It's been months now.
It was a nice ladder.
Thank you.
Right. There's a burning tree outside. The tree has a crystal in it.
Like crystal
Yes.
from the cave's crystal.
A crystal from the cave's crystal. There are also giant insects running around that almost killed our friend Bishop over here.
You see Bishop kind of, I guess, wander around the corner. Oh no, what are you doing, Bishop?
So, because that took a while, I'm gonna assume, with the whole
Yeah, then
conversation.
you just hear like arguing, and you hear like Rook's booming voice in the hallway.
All right. So, first things first is there wasn't anything of interest on the bookshelf, right? It's like just like
Only the stuff you
paperwork.
found last week. All the treasure you found last week. We found loot last week.
Yeah, like the chunk of platinum, right?
Yeah.
But that was about it.
There was stuff, yeah. That's interesting. A chunk of platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing of interest. No, just chunks of platinum.
Yeah, no. That's like it's just fucking platinum, bro.
Gross.
I was like, it didn't land on my foot, and I was like, fucking piece of shit. Nah, but I keep it. It's fucking platinum. Of course I'm gonna keep it. I would have said that when Ijara walked off, because you heard Nyala screaming like always. She would have gone ahead and taken out the broken needle in her chest again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one. And it's wondering, because I know I said to repair the needle, it's like a day of work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it can be. So they're gonna put that in the little case that they have for it. I'll take damage as needs be because it's like pretty in there, and since it's broke, I'm pretty sure I have to cut myself up to get that out. You tell me how much damage I take if I take any.
A D4, I reckon.
Before.
You're pretty well trained at getting them out.
Yeah. Fucking perfect. 1.
Hey.
I've been rolling super high and killing myself, which is great. Now they got 1 damage. And then after that, they would have gone in the hallway, but the moment she started hearing them talk about cannibalism and all that stuff, like, you know what? Now I'm gonna just go and sit down in the room across where there's like a table and like a fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
And she can already feel the headache coming on, and I'm just let them, just breathe all that out, so that she doesn't have to be there for whatever conflict that might be there, because she doesn't want to be a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
like last time where she just randomly joined and then she had to like tell about stuff because of whatever problems that they had to deal with before. Is there? Oh wait, do we as a group, from me as a player, because I can't remember, did we talk about using the top room uh like as a place to just chill?
We haven't been up there yet.
No, it means the
We
top
don't know. We haven't.
left-hand room.
The
On
room
this
across
floor.
from my one. Yeah, the one with the
I don't know. I don't think we've actually discussed where
No,
we're going to camp
no.
yet because we haven't explored the full building.
Ijara would probably walk over to you and say, "Hey, Ijara, there's like the hairy one, and like Bishop, the hairy one has come from a wall mushroom. I guess he's back with us for time. What are you doing?"
I was gonna, as like she would have been in the middle of a process of going to this kind of like a sewing needle out, the curved needles that are kind of round, so like to start stitching herself up. But if there's more pressing matters, then I guess they'll put that away and.
No, I mean, like, do whatever you're doing. Like, it's not like we're gonna look around the house. I'm gonna stay with the bears by the door and watch the door. I think that's what we're gonna do. We can come find you in a minute if you're busy doing whatever you're doing with the whatever that is.
Did you guys finish exploring the rest of the house?
No, the mushroom hairy man came out the wall and we all got distracted by that. But we'll go look now.
I'll go check as I follow Ijara toward the other door.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool. So you all congregate in this central space. You see a rather exhausted-looking Maruk. Something slightly different about them, Bishop. Like they look they look exhausted, but they look refreshed. They look like healthy somehow. Like last time you saw them, they were both they were at the end of their tether. They were kind of you've been trekking across the ice. You got through the hordes, and they were quite sad when you saw them last. There's a slight glimmer of hope about them now. Now they're here, and they just seem somehow fresher. Yeah, you gather in the hallway. What do you do, everybody?
I'm down to go look upstairs so they have a more conversation or talk more things out.
Who would be with Queenie then?
Sorry, can you move a little bit closer to your mic? You're a bit quiet. Sorry.
You would be with Queenie. Queenie's upstairs.
Okay. And yeah, I would have gone upstairs as they would have.
They're chatting.
How's Bishop? How is Bishop currently looking?
Oh, they're rough. They're like a little bit less than half. But it's cool. I'm gonna go upstairs.
A little bit less than half. Okay, that's not too bad if they're looking less, just a little bit less than half.
Yeah, my max is 60. I'm at 24.
Sorry, what?
My max is 60.
Yeah.
I'm at 24.
You have 24.
Yeah, so
okay.
I think I could take a hit.
All right, that's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, Bishop, guys, I know it's very exciting that the Rook man has come from the wall, but we need to make sure that the little creatures don't come no more and come and get us.
Honestly, I think the fire will keep them away as long as it burns. So we just got to keep an eye on that. If there's any way we can try and peek through any cracks and just make sure that the fire is burning throughout the night. Whoever's on watch, I think we'll be safe.
Okay. You want that?
And if things do go south, then we will get woken up and we carry on.
You want
and then we fight them off.
Watch through the door now?
Well, let's look through the cracks in any windows. Let's check upstairs. Look through the cracks in any windows. We have Rook with us now. He's a fucking hardy motherfucker. We will keep an eye out, take turns on watch. Let's all just try and keep the night here,
Okay.
and then have a wander around in the day. And hopefully these things don't like the sunlight. But let's go upstairs. Let's have a look what's going on first.
That almost sounded like a compliment.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Love you too.
Those of you, so if you want to scroll up the map a bit and move your tokens up to the bit above, if you
Ooh.
Yes,
congregate
please.
on the hallway, you can do. I'm not pressing the right button. God, oh, wish I could remember the shortcuts for Roll20. So, you have a room kind of open planned in front of you where you can see a table and 4 chairs. You can also see 4 doors, top left, top right, bottom right.
Roll20 hasn't updated for me yet. I'm still just seeing downstairs.
If you scroll up the map a bit.
Oh, sorry. I see. Sorry, I'm an absolute noob at Roll20.
That's all right, don't worry.
I had everything zoomed in on the bottom.
No.
Okay.
So did I for purposes of everything.
Right.
I've got to do it on.
Bloody
Okay.
amateurs.
Yeah, so you see a room down below. It's opened up. You see 4 doors.
4 doors. So 2 behind us, 2 in front of us.
You see the little squares on the map there. Little.
Yeah.
1, 2.
So 2 there, and then 2 behind us.
Yeah, and then the one in front is kind of like opens up into another room. You can tell there's a space beyond.
Do I dare say? Do I dare say? Split the pass after last week.
1 room
Each take a door.
Okay. Who's having door number 1, which is top left?
I'll take number 1.
Top left. Number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1
Me.
for Arden. Okay, so top left is. Sorry, this is actually a written module, so I don't have to remember anything. But then I do have to keep scrolling, remembering what everything is. So,
I is staying with Rook for now. She's been a cuddly kitty.
this room contains a bed and a fireplace that links to the fireplace you assume downstairs. The chimney is partly collapsed, and cold air kind of is blowing in through the gaps in where the chimney has fallen apart from the outside. The room is decorated with appealing blue wallpaper with a yellow like daisy design going round the borders of the middle and the ceiling. There is a carpet on the ground in the shape of like an owlbear, but like a cute version of an owlbear. But it's all like rotten and tattered and falling apart.
No. Poor baby.
Looks like a child's room in here. I pick up a little bit of rubble off the floor and I throw it in just to see if anything reacts in the room.
There is no reaction to the room at all whatsoever. Just that cold wind blowing in through the gaps.
Look, Celia, Ajara, Bishop, what have you got?
My name is not Celia.
Celia, fucking Yala.
Who's taking bottom left?
I'll take bottom left.
Bottom left.
I'll follow you.
Are you going with Rookie? Okay. So you open up the room. Again, window, bottom here, down the bottom. These are windows, Rook. This is a fireplace, and you have a bed. This is a grand bedroom. The bed is very beautiful mahogany, but in a state of disrepair. There is a small bedside table, and the bed is kind of like made, but kind of rotting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of walk in and kind of just have an explore, have a look around.
Okay. Could you make me a investigation with advantage if Niall is with you,
Of course I can.
please?
Would be an 18.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Yum yum yum. So you kind of start realizing that this is um, a this is the master bedroom of the house, and you find a pile of crumpled up, like half-written letters on the bedside table. They've been trying to be written while they were in bed, um, and then kind of just tucked up by the mantelpiece. And there's just calling out for help to the nearby places for aid. There is a complete letter addressed to the the leader, the town elder of Merin, and the letter is stuffed into an envelope and sealed shut. You kind of break that wax, and there's like a little emblem of a snowdrop blossom on it. And you find also a journal, and this appears to be from the mayor of the town. And the journal chronicles several things. It talks about a disaster at the mine, a collapse. And
We've seen that symbol before, haven't we?
you have
Have I?
you?
Not since, no, because we've only seen it since we came to Vermillion.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've just seen it on things,
Yeah.
I think. What did we see it on?
What did you see?
I think it was just as we were coming into the building. There was something early, like last session when we came into the building. There was something with the snowdrop.
I mean, it's a. You start picking it up here and there around the place. It seems to be kind of like a symbol of the area. Also, you can. I'm going to make you roll for it. No. You remember the blossoms that were particularly fond by Lucas?
Yeah, the flowers that he wants to put on his wife's grave. Is that right?
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The journal that you find, Rook, as you start flicking through, has mostly maintained, and it talks about a disaster at the mine, a collapse, and the village's anguish at so many victims. The mayor talks about rescue efforts of digging for days and days, trying to rescue those who were buried inside. Desperate attempts to free those trapped, but they had to stop digging any further for fear that it might cave in further if they attempted to move any more rubbles and debris, even with the miners that were still missing. Then she starts talking about, a little while after, villagers going missing in the night, and of her relentless efforts to stay in the village and keep it alive, determined to find the missing villagers, but just her left in the end. Mayor Duvzin, and even at the end, her wife and 2 children, Tavin and Nia, were evacuated to Merin and then off further. And Tifra, her wife, also left. And then it starts describing nightmares, terrible night terrors of waking in the night soaked with sweat and lingering screams echoing in her ears. And that's what you find.
Beautiful. I'm just going to kind of like call back out. It's like, this room's clear.
Would you
All
like
good.
me to recap those names for you?
Divsden, Tiffer,
And then the kids were Tavin and Nia.
Ibston, Tiffer, Tavern, and Nia.
Tabin and
Yeah, Tavin and Nia were the kids. Tifra was the wife, and Divzin
Di-
was the lady mare as well.
Dibson with the mayor.
Didn't I met the mother? Remember back in Marin when I was going around for the witch?
Different. Ibston, Tiffer.
Sorry,
Yeah,
did
I
you want
woke
the
up a
names again,
baby when
Lee?
the mother got out.
Tifra.
Sorry, I'll spell them out. So the mayor is called Mayor Duvvezin.
I spelled that way wrong. Duve.
Ezin. Duvvezin.
Duvzin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's the mayor.
her wife is Tifra. Tifra. Tifra.
Okay.
TYZ.
T-I-E.
Or TIZ.
Oh, wait a minute. What word are you on?
Tifra.
Yeah.
TIZ.
No, there's no Z.
What? Where am I getting Z from then?
That's
In the mayor's name. Duvsden.
Dusden, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mayor's
Tifra.
wife.
Tifra.
Tifra. And how do I spell that?
TIFRA.
TIF.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like pulling fucking teeth.
Zoom. I swear to God, it's Zoom.
And then
Tavin.
Tavin, Tavin. And
Nia.
Nia, Nia.
Tavin. T. A.
Tango Alpha.
A-V-I-N.
Yes, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. Tavin. TABIN.
No, V.
Victor.
That's what I said. V.
You said B.
I've just put it in the Zoom chat. It's V.
Guys, come on.
Okay.
TAVIN. And then what was the last one? Nifra.
Nia.
Nia.
Yeah.
Nia.
N-I-A.
Bit like MIA, but not.
Jesus Christ.
All
Blame
right.
my shitty computer. Christ.
Yeah, so you find these things in there. No, you didn't meet them. You met the. Oh, you're talking about the one with the crying child that you met on the way round the edge. No, that was you just being loud and waking up a random household because that's yeah. So who's
Sounds
got
accurate.
bottom? You got bottom right, Bishop. Okay, bottom right. Right, let's see. Where are we looking here? Bottom right. Bottom right is you go in and you see a bed and a fireplace. This room is cold. This room feels, I don't know, it feels lonely. You open it up and it's like a guest room, but it's almost like the absence of the guests is the worst thing.
Just taking a quick glance, I don't really see anything besides like what would normally be, I guess, from anything out of the ordinary.
Where do you look specifically?
Is there anything besides the bed? Is there like drawers?
There's a
shelves?
small rail with a couple of like empty coat hangers on it, and as you walk in, the air makes them move and they tap on each other. Tink, tink. They're like wire coat hangers, and they kind of chime like some sort of strange bell. just lightly in this space, and you can just hear your feet creaking on the floorboards, and the others opening doors and peeking inside and ruffling through. You don't.
And how does the bed look? Does it look like
It is
it's
it has
functional?
4 legs, and there is space underneath. There's 2 pillows upon it. The bed looks again made, but not slept in for a long time.
So if I sit on it, I just won't. It just won't break.
No, it looks pretty sturdy.
I'll. If anything, they'll probably go and sit on the bed.
Okay, which way are you facing?
Probably. I'll probably be on this side, facing down, facing south.
Facing the fireplace. As you sit down, what do you do?
He said that this room specifically felt extremely lonely
Mm-hmm.
or empty,
Yeah.
and they can't help but just think of back home of how when she first started, it was just so full of life, but when she left, it was just turning into a ghost town,
Yeah.
and
That
that's
hollow
kind
feeling
of
haunts you
yeah.
and sits in your soul. And just as you're thinking that, and you're kind of sat on one side of this mattress, and you're facing kind of the window that looks out at the tree, and you can see the flickering flames in the window, like kind of just breaking through the boards. You feel as though someone sits on the other side of the bed.
What?
Mm. They're not gonna turn around. They're just gonna sit there.
And you feel the bed creak. You feel as though someone lays down in the bed behind you. You feel the mattress compress, the hay or whatever it's stuffed with. You hear it crinkle and lay down.
I'll kind of just turn my head so that I can just see out of the corner of my eye.
You don't see a thing.
Yeah, that's probably it before they get up and head back into the halls.
And as you kind of pass back out into the hallway, you just hear like an exhale. Okay, so Ijara's going to bust into the room up the top there.
Of course.
Boom! Break down the door.
Walk in here! And they will say, and they open up the room. And this has got some bits in. And I will read as if I didn't know what it was. And I shall read it out to you folks as well, alright? Because that seems only fair. So in this room, it is decorated with a repeating sword, shield going around the edge of the room. There is a bed and then a tall chest of drawers made of dark wood in one of the corners across from the door. A small desk sits between the 2 windows on the top side. So I'll reveal the other window. I didn't do that. And then the sheets on the bed are kind of rumpled up, and there's one moth-eaten pillow on the floor beside the bed. the other on the mattress where it belongs. Ijara is going to roll an investigation check. Ho 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 ho!
Nat 20?
Ho 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 ho!
Nice!
You actually wish, don't you? That was a nat 20.
Oh.
You know what the opposite is of a nat 20?
Yeah.
Not one.
And you know that you guys built this character, not me.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you put as their intelligence modifier?
Yeah, so it's a 0. You know.
That's a big fat 0 for Ishara. Nothing in here, guys. Nothing at all. It's just got, like, there's a mucky bed, a smelly bed. I think a boy was here.
A
Mucky
boy?
Yeah, there's, like, boy things.
Ah!
Or maybe a battly girl. I don't know. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Ah! Hold on.
Yeah. And then there's just a room below, guys. Who's going to go and have a look here?
No, I'm doing. Yeah.
Cool. So this room doesn't have a door as such.
Yeah.
But you can open it up and you've got a big space like this. 4 windows look out. And bookshelves line in the room.
What's that? Quick glance. Everything.
It is a library. There's wing-back chairs that sit around a low table in the centre of the room. And the wide bank of windows, if they weren't boarded up, would give you a beautiful view of the town of Vermillion. But all you see is through these boarded up windows, the flickering flame, just kind of like burning in kind of sending like little weird lances of light through the door. Who's lighting this place, by the way? Because we're all.
Oh, I had a torch
You got the torch still.
from last time, so you know, because I can't see. So
I got dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm the only one who can't see in the dark, so I'm always gonna have a torch out if I need one.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
I have dark vision too, so it's not a problem for me.
I'm the only person that gives out our location, you know.
Yeah, as everyone just finished the turn of the room and everything, now they're just going to grip Rook and Ogden's arm and just kind of approach everyone and say, "Can I stay with you guys tonight, please?"
I mean, I don't see why not.
Why don't we all? I don't know. Why don't we all hold up in the bottom left room? The big one. Doesn't seem as cold in there.
I'm up for that. We'll get the bears in, it'll be really toasty.
I mean, I can make it a tiny hut and it's fine. Everyone can mostly fit in.
Okay. Bishop.
Well, if you do that in the room, then even if a little bit of us is hanging out, we should be okay for the night.
Yeah.
I still think we should take watches. Keep an eye out outside. Make sure the tree's still burning. See if those things aren't getting
I
any
think I
closer.
to you. Where's the tiny hut? I mean, I choose people who can come in and come out, and the only thing that I have to do is stay inside, and it's here. It's a safe place.
Yeah. So the rest of you start proceeding downstairs, and Ijara kind of stops by the doorway and says, "Come on, Bishop. We're going to arrange watches. We're going to stay in the room that you said. Like, I think it would be safer down there."
I thought we were gonna stay as a pair. I thought we were gonna stay in the master bedroom. Was I just wrong?
I thought you were going to stay in the room that you suggested with the circle table. Where are you staying, guys? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. So we're going downstairs?
I'm in the bottom left room here. The master bedroom.
Oh, the
kind
master
of
bedroom. Sorry,
one.
bottom left on this
Yeah,
floor.
because that one seemed the most warm.
Yeah, cool. No trouble at all. Bishop, just as you about to leave the room, a gust kind of filters through the room, and you hear like the flicker of a piece of paper tucked in a book on the table.
Oh. Oh. I'm gonna check that out. I gotta check it out.
You pick up the book, and as you've been kind of looking at the stuff on the walls, there's been, just like farming rotation, the stuff on platinum refining, all that kind of stuff that would be in a town like this, and rosters, and there's a whole section of like an accounts and stuff that are all rotten and falling apart. This book is bizarre. This book looks like it should not probably be here.
Does it have like a book title?
This book
Or just
is called L'Imaginaire Fait.
Whoa, hold up. What? What's it called? What?
So it's like a book about the creatures of the Fae.
Oh, I'll take that for sure.
And tucked in it, that slip of paper, as you open it up, there's just a hastily scrawled piece of paper, and it just says on it, like the ink all run and smudged, and it said, "Could this be the answer?" And then there's a question mark, and it's marked on a page of a creature that you see is very familiar. They are creatures that paralysed you, but a little while ago. It says Mean Lock, and it tells you that they are corrupted Fey creatures that spontaneously manifest in response to fear in places where the Fey wild border is thin. It also tells you Mean Locks create more of their own kind by transforming humanoids through a process of psychic torment. It takes hours or days. It tells you that they are subterranean. And it also tells you that they are sensitive to bright light and can sense shadows and darkness.
So, from reading this, would I gather that they can enter the house? Like, can they like burrow under, or like, are we safe, roughly?
They can sense shadows and what was it? Sorry,
Darkness.
shadows and darkness. Sense shadows and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So theoretically, let's say, it's like dim light, roughly. I have my torch out that shines for a brightness of who knows how far.
Mm-hmm. It fills this room.
So would like they be able to come out from my own shadow or something like that, or does it need to be like a shadow big enough so that they can get out of? Because they were pretty huge, right?
No, they were
Like,
quite
some
small.
big
They were
motherfuckers.
small little creatures. Only humanoid size. They weren't big.
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, they were our height, more or less.
They were about 4.5 feet. They weren't tall even.
Oh, so like halfling size, like halfling or no?
You're between a halfling and a human somewhere.
Damn, and them bitches took me down. That's
Yeah,
stupid.
Size matters not. I think it's best that we try and keep the place
It
low.
pissed me off because Pete said they were like really
If
low
they
level.
can sense shadows and darkness, I think.
Obviously,
I
I'll
mean,
go
you haven't shared
over
this
to
yet,
the
so I
group.
don't know.
Once we like settle down and stuff, I must share this. But I'm gonna continue reading more of the book to see if there are more creatures that I do not know about. But right
Ijara
now,
will walk straight into the bedroom in full armor, kind of plonk themselves on the bed. A big cloud of dust comes up. Ah, well, this isn't so bad. I've slept in worse places, you know.
I dread to ask.
Pardon.
pick up the whole bed, like just like this armor, what kind of armor did
Oh,
they
no,
just
they
pick up?
lay right in the middle.
Oh yeah, it's like
Of course they do.
alright, get us the ground floor.
Do you want to move your tokens in there for me then, folks?
Oh right.
Are we all right to take a break at
I
that
was
point?
about to just say, let's have a little break.
Yeah.
Go and get some coffees and stuff, and then we'll pick up again in a minute, alright?
Super.
Okay, guys, let's go and get
We've
some
chosen
coffee.
our room to stay the night in.
Yeah, that's it.
Recording stopped.
Lovely.